everyone, welcome back to FRMD. I'm coming to you with a video that a couple of you have been asking for, and it's about how to get into a competitive medical school. So before I start, I just want to put a disclaimer out there that, while I feel like this is my perception of things, your mileage may vary with my advice, and also luck has a huge part to play into medical school admissions process as a whole, so it's just important to keep that in mind. So I've previously made a video about how to get into medical school, which I will link here, and I think it would be great for you guys to refer back to it, because for this I'm just going to focus on three things: the primary application, the secondary application, and then the interview process. So your primary application is composed of a couple different things. It has your grades in there, it has different experiences you might have done, it has your personal statement, as well as a few other things. So for me, when I look back at my primary application, I think what helped me was that I was able to, for my experiences, show a prolonged, sustained commitment to a variety of different things. So for example, I'd done research, I'd volunteered at a hospital, I had participated in student government, I'd worked on different diversity initiatives, and in all those different efforts I took leadership roles in them and was able to show sustained commitment over time. Also your grades, it's really important obviously to perform well to be able to put yourself in a position to get into a competitive school. But I think don't worry if your first couple even years are not good, because competitive schools like to see that you have some type of upward trend. So if you are improving your performance, that indicates that you figured it out even if you had a hard time initially. So in terms of personal statement, I spent actually quite a bit of time on mine. I went through I think 6 or 7 drafts, and I had friends read it, I had my research mentor read it, I had someone in career services read mine, but I just basically wanted to make sure that it reflected who I was as a person, and that took quite a bit of time to figure out and put my best foot forward. So that's the primary application. As for your secondary application, this is where I think you really have a chance to shine. So I remember when I was applying to NYU, they had a variety of different questions, and one of them was, if you want to explain anything in your academic record, you have a chance. So that's like what I was saying in your primary application. If you didn't do the best your first 2 years, that's a perfect place to explain, hey, I had a rough couple first years, but I figured it out. There's often a diversity question, and for me, I spoke about being an immigrant, and then going to college and working with diversity initiatives there, and how that kind of made me conscious of the type of physician that I wanted to be in the future. But you can talk about different things. I know people have talked about different populations that they've worked with, or different realizations that they came to in college, or other such things. It also asks you to, or some ask them to talk about maybe a hard time you've had in your life, or an achievement you're most proud of. And it's important, I think, to kind of use this opportunity to showcase that you're more than just someone applying to medical school, and this is a perfect chance to show that you have other interests and show that you are proud of other things. So for example, I talked about an award I won, which happened my senior year, and it kind of just showed that it was kind of a culmination of all the activism I'd done. And so I talked about how it was great for me to be recognized for that. So then the last portion, the interview. So once you've done all of this, you've got your primary or your secondary, and you send it in, then you have the opportunity to interview. So for the most part, there's 2 different types of interviews. So there's the traditional interview, where it's a one-on-one format, and then there's the MMI. NYU is an MMI school, and I know when I was applying at first I was a little intimidated by that because I wasn't quite sure what it meant, but for the most part I actually enjoyed it. It was you had different stations. Each station was about 5 minutes, and from there you just talk about different scenarios, and it showcases, or it's your ability to showcase that you're a normal human being and not can think about things in a concrete manner, on the fly. For traditional interviews, it's very important, especially since it's kind of a one-on-one conversation. You have to be able to rehearse and like prepare like the why do you want to go to med school question, because invariably that's the question they start with, and it's really important to be able to explain like in a cohesive manner why you're interested in going to med school. That's not like, oh well, my mom's a doctor or my parents are, you know, you have to be able to say this experience that led me to do this, and all the experiences that I have that are both in and not in my application led me to this singular point. So that is it. Please let me know if you have any questions. I can do more videos like this. And please like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks.